Peace, 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 everybody. This is Bud Brownsville, Bud Brownsville LLC. And I apologize for the late video. Had a lot of technical difficulties. But let's get right to it. This is the BAOFENG UV82. It is a scanner. It is a handheld transmitter receiver, CB radio for ham, operators. It's also MERS, where you can, it's like you go to a department store and the workers are talking to each other on those little radios. This can do that. It can do CB radio, ham. It can scanner, meaning it can get police signals and EMS and fire. Okay, you can get it from Amazon, less than $40, and it's programmable. You'd have to get the programming cable. Get the programming cable, and you can program these this radio to do a lot of stuff. It's an FM radio. I believe it is AM too. FM radio, flashlight, very, very, very necessary for those that are preppers, those that are emergency minded. Anyway, the stock radio that comes with this, a stock antenna that comes with this is not the stock antenna. I bought an extended, whip, as they would call it. Now, I travel, and also I have sort of a base set up at home. So in the event that the cell phone towers goes down and I need to communicate with my house, this is not going to reach. So I purchased a magnetic roof mount. It goes on top of the car, and it connects into, you take this off, and you connect the antenna or the wire into here, and you can transmit longer range. Okay, so those that are into this know what I'm talking about. Those that do not, ask me some questions. If you want me to go more in detail about this and the licensing, you have to have the technician's license at least for ham radio to transmit. Now, if you go into the police signals or the higher range signals, you need to have a license. In the event of emergency, you don't need a license. But all that technicality I go into another time. I just wanted to introduce you, if I didn't already in one of my videos, to the UV82. I suggest this to everybody that contacts me about these things, because the UV54, UV50, don't quote me, I'll put a link here, or I'll put the comment here of what that radio is. It's a common one, it's cheap, it's usually yellow. Everybody gets those, but you cannot do as many things as you can with this one. Also, it doesn't have a digital screen. This has a digital screen. All right, so that's that. And the main purpose of this video was to follow up on a question that I got via email from a subscriber, asking what is the best thing someone can do to protect or defend themselves against the police. Now, as a person that is currently employed in a law enforcement department or a public safety department, I'm not anti-public safety, I'm not anti-police or anti-law enforcement at all. I just believe in checks and balances. There's a lot of good officers out there, or there's a lot of great officers out there, but there's also a lot of bad apples. And the way things are set up now, citizens, whether it be black, Asian, white, the citizens, the way the structure is set up now, the system is going after all citizens, disproportionately black and Latino, but they're going after all citizens. But there's things that you can do to battle that. Now, keeping it simple, my brothers and sisters in Brownsville, Brooklyn, if you get accosted by the police, law enforcement, the policy enforcers, the pigs, chances are somebody is videotaping, or somebody there sees what's going on. in the most of the hoods, we have this kind of sense of our presence. We know what's going on around us, and we know what's about to happen. We sense these things. So use that to your advantage. Now you can become a witness for somebody that's being arrested or wrongly accused. And how you be a witness is you create an affidavit. Now I'm gonna maybe at the end of this video give you samples of affidavits that you can use, that you can write up yourself, that once you notarize them and you offer it to the person that's getting arrested, or all right, let's give you a scenario. You walk up on the scene, or you're on scene. No, necessarily you walk up on the scene, you're on scene and someone's getting arrested. You pull out your phone. One of the first things you do is, okay, what's your name? How can I reach somebody on your behalf? How can I get you some information? So the person that's being arrested, the person that's being accosted by the police, what they will do is, you can reach me at such and such and so, my name is such and such and so, da da da. Now you are a first-hand witness of whatever transpired prior to the officer's interaction with the person, or the individual, or you just walked up on the scene, and you want to document what you saw, because a lot of times the reports is not going to reflect exactly what happened, because the officers want to make it more in their favor as opposed to more in your favor. So that's where witnesses come into play. The witness will write down their truth of what happened, and a lot of times it's going to counter what the officer is saying, or is going to back up what you are saying. Now, three witnesses or two or more witnesses in your favor, by the preponderance of the evidence, you're most likely going to get off. You won't have any issue, all right? Because the officer's police report technically is an affidavit. They're accusing you of something. However, once it's rebutted, it needs to be proved. But if you offer into evidence your three proofs or your three pieces of evidence, it trumps his or hers, all right? So the affidavit is powerful. Also, the affidavit can get you in trouble. Why? Because if you put down something that is not true, you can be brought up on perjury charges. All right? So you want your truth to be truth. And you want to look out for your family, your friends, or whoever. So at the end of this video, I'll put up some samples of affidavits that you may be able to use, that you would consider using, and make it your own. Don't go word for word what I put on this page, because you don't want a carbon copy out there. You want to make it your own, please. So anyway, that's one instance. If you're in a vehicle, you're the operator of the vehicle. You're traveling, because you don't drive, but you're traveling, and you have a passenger in the front seat, a passenger in the back seat, and you get pulled over because the officer says you didn't signal. The officer pulls you over and says you ran a red light. Officer pulls you over for whatever reason, or you get a red light camera summons in the mail, and you have passengers in the vehicle. The passengers in the vehicle can write affidavits on your behalf, stating the truth of what actually happened. He didn't make no illegal turn. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. Now your evidence outweighs their evidence, and now there's nothing to talk about. There's no controversy. Got me? Good. So these are little things that we need to know. Civics, tidbits of law. We need to really understand this stuff, because we're being railroaded, and a lot of it we can prevent if we just know these little basic stuff. All right. But Brownsville LLC, I got a webinar coming up. I may do a seminar. I'm trying to shy away. Webinars get more attendance because people in Philadelphia, people in Texas, people in Washington can join in, and it won't just be people in Brownsville, period. Now, there's something else coming up in Brownsville that my man Danny Godin is putting together. I'm going to try to be out to that and, come and hear what I got to say. And let's get up. Let's help ourselves get out of this mess. Now, I mean, we are being targeted. So now we have to put our defenses up. So it's time out for all that extra bullshit that we're doing. Fuck power. Fuck all these different shows. Get into your books. Get into this information. Get into this knowledge of how to protect yourself. All right? Bud Brownsville. Bud Brownsville LLC. Peace.
This sample is called the Affidavit of Truth. You're going to put down a state that coincides with the state that you're in, and you're going to put down the county that represents the county that you're in. Okay, so you're going to put Affidavit of Truth, New York State, close parentheses, SS, close parentheses, Kings County, close parentheses. I, Bud Brownsville, hereby attest that Kamara Mazu was not speeding and was in fact in compliance with the posted regulation in the vicinity of Blake Avenue between Sutter Avenue and Pickett Avenue. Now, I know those blocks don't coincide. I'm just, anyway. I know this to be true because I was a front passenger in Kamara's automobile and have first-hand knowledge. At the bottom of the page, you want to put signed and attested before me this 33rd day of February 2021. Now, of course, all of the dates, the locations, etc. needs to be truthful. This is just a mock, affidavit. You want to make sure you put down a signature line, and you want to sign on that line, and you want to put down a line for the notary, and have a little space where the notary will make his seal and sign his name. Okay, this is how you would do a basic affidavit. Also, the name of the affidavit could be whatever you want to call it. It could be the affidavit of truth. It could be affidavit of response, affidavit of rebuttal, affidavit of information. Call it what you want to call it. It's your affidavit. It's your truth. Okay? Sample 2 coming up. And this is sample number 2. Now, on this affidavit, we're calling it the affidavit of witness, or we call it an affidavit in support. So these are just some samples that I'm throwing out there to you to get the mind going. You want to make these affidavits your own. There is no set way that these affidavits have to be done. You can make it your own as long as it has these following items on it. It's affidavit. All right. Again, you want to put the state that the incident is taking place in, or the state that you're going to get this document notarized in. New Jersey State, close parentheses, SS, close parentheses, Union County, close parentheses. I, Kamara Mazu, was present and alert when Bud Brownsville was approached by 2 officers later identified as Jane Doe, badge number 321, and Doe John, badge number 123. In front of 222 Park Avenue at 3:21 p.m. on July 6, 2021. What happened was, and this is where you put the rest of what happened, you put your facts and you state exactly what happened to the best of your ability. Then you're going to sign, you're going to get the notary's signature, and make sure you put down there signed and affirmed before me this blank day of July 2020, whatever, you understand? So this is the basic format for a basic affidavit. You can have it typed up or you can handwrite it. Handwritten affidavits are more powerful than a typed affidavit. Remember that. Okay, so these are just samples of the affidavits that you can put together in the spur of the moment. Run down to a notary, get this notarized, and give it to a person to defend their case. Okay, so thank you.